Want to win money on sports? With Underdog, you can win up to 1,000 times your cash just by picking higher or lower on your favorite players' stats. Millions of fans have won billions of dollars on Underdog. Will you be next? Download the Underdog app and sign up to get a free pick with your first cash entry up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP, 1-800-639-8783, or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Hashtag no music, no intro. We are back on a Wednesday afternoon. I am joining you from Dallas, Texas. Another episode of the Saints Block Party podcast. Might be a little just kind of all over the place because I'm exhausted. Got into Dallas last night, representing our beautiful podcast, our brand, our business at the Big 12 Pro Day, which is taking place today through Friday. Me and Dante are here. Wolf wasn't able to make it. Got the bad news today that out of nowhere, and they were on the roster when we got the approval that Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter were going to be here, and then when we picked up the roster sheet this morning, magically they were no longer on the roster sheet. But still, out here working, getting content. I already sent the email to Colorado Athletic Communications member because that Colorado Pro Day is on a Friday, April 4th. I'm off on Fridays. Little flight to Colorado. Might make that a little day trip with Jay in case we get approved. Man, I'm trying to see like, oh.
You muted. You got muted again.
Cool. My bad.
There you go.
So we'll see. But we are here. I wanted to, have this episode really to talk about the news that our podcast reported, I reported on Friday that was sourced extensively from my good friend and was sourced to the point where before it was even told to me, my confidant friend sourced it by like 3 to 4 people before they were like, I feel confident to tell you you can put this out there confidently. So I dropped it on Friday, and oh my God, what a fucking shit show that was on Friday. But it is what it is. Like Derek Carr, the Saints starting quarterback, after all that kerfuffle that happened prior to like his contract, was he going to stay? Was he not going to stay? He still wants to be traded.
Or
still wants to be traded.
Traded or let go off the team, some kind of way.
Wants to be gone. No longer wants to be a New Orleans Saint. Period. Those are facts.
And Loomis got that man chained up. Can you imagine that shit? Derek Carr. Derek KKK Carr. Got that man like he just is an elite quarterback. We can't let this guy out the building. Make it make sense.
Just that guy. Okay. So apologize about that. This is what happened. So using hotel Wi-Fi, which I did not want to use because typically hotel Wi-Fi is not that reliable, but I think we're doing much better. So just to recap in case things got cut off, Derek Carr, like you were saying, Derek Carr, of all people, Derek Carr no longer wants to be New Orleans Saint. This guy.
I mean, motherfucker like me grant his wish. But look, y'all already did the restructure thing. He's getting his $40 million. He was already gonna get the 10. plus the 30 after restructuring and pushing that money to the future, or pushing that accounting to the future. So he getting his 40 M's whether he plays, whether he doesn't take a snap or not. He getting his 40 M's, but that does not prevent him from being moved. Although he does have a no trade clause, which that means it would be after something he would have to approve. But why would Mickey Loomis do it right now if they just restructured him? You know what I'm saying? So like, what would be the point?
And like that, me sending that tweet on Friday was just a great example of hashtag children were left behind, because
oh my God.
And nowhere did I say that Derek Carr was going to be traded. Nowhere did I say that the Saints wanted to trade Derek Carr. It was not. It said nothing in the tweet.
Carr wants to be traded. That's it.
Did I say that the Saints wanted to trade Derek Carr? And here's what.
And all I saw was, no way we're trading Carr. Blah, blah, blah. Who saying he is? What are y'all talking? Slow, bro. Slow.
I know niggas PSAT score or SAT scores and ACT scores for reading comprehension were fucking in the toilet when it came to reading comprehension, because niggas can't read a sentence.
They about to get rid of the Department of Education? Damn. He really cooked, boy.
Cooked, bro. Cooked as a society, bro. So I just wanted to have this podcast in terms of what it means next for the Saints, because the Saints, when I say the Saints, I mean Mickey Loomis, and a lot of things going forward. When I say the Saints, a lot of that, when I say that, I honestly just uniformly, Aquadine Muhammad start re-signing with the Lions. That 2017 draft,
still pumping,
bruh. I think it's Josue as a first year listener. You've said so much stuff that turns out to be true. I'm not sure how people kept doubting the source. I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole nother separate episode, and we don't have that much time.
No, I got time to say it. It's because one, majority of those people aren't podcast listeners. They're just people out there in the Twitterverse or wherever. Some of them are trolls. Some of them are just haters. Some of them are racist. All kind of reasons, you know. But
why not both?
Why not both? Anybody who's listening to this podcast, especially our day ones, been here for 4 or 5 years, y'all know we don't put anything out there unless we're hearing it from someone we trust. Now, it might not come out to be, come to fruition because things change, people lie, all kind of things. But we put it out there if we're hearing it, and we trust. Sometimes we hear stuff that are interesting, but we don't even trust what we're hearing it from, and we don't put it out there.
Yep.
You know. But if we trust who we're hearing it from, and Adam has a good sources who we trust, he put it out there.
People try to get into an argument with me because the whole Cooper Cup thing. Oh, well, technically you didn't break the Cooper Cup thing first. Like, it was already broken by blah blah blah. And I'm like, man, we've been talking about the Cooper Cup thing in our Discord before it was even we talked about it Thursday night because we finally recorded a podcast episode. There are things that we talk about in our Discord before we even talk about it on a podcast. Patreon.com/Saints Block Party. So just because we don't do it in a podcast format, and just because we don't tweet about it, doesn't mean that we're not already talking about it before it hit the mainstream. Just that's y'all being left out. That's on y'all.
The Discord get it first.
I'm just saying. Anyhow, going back to even Mark said, even Underhill could not disagree with Adam what I said. Because it's true. He wants to be traded. Why do you think so many people in the NFL, Jeremy Fowler, Alt Breer, Todd McShay, people who have sources and connections in the NFL has been being like, this Derek Carr thing, let's not be like, I'm just a random nigga just pulling shit out my ass, bro. I'm just a random nigga just pulling shit out my ass, bro. Just taking time off my job, flying to Texas, trying to help you and I build this just cause. And I'm just putting false fake shit out. But look, anyway, Derek Carr wants to be traded. Mickey Loomis doesn't want to trade Derek Carr. The Saints are in this weird, gross conundrum of a place because I still stand by what I reported prior to Kellen Moore getting hired. Kellen Moore is not a Derek Carr fan. He didn't want Derek Carr before he took the job, and now the quarterback that he didn't want now doesn't want to be on the team. They go, what? So
I wonder if Derek Carr knew that.
I'm guaranteeing you someone in the Derek Carr family listens to this podcast to some degree or watches it to some degree. I know it gets back to. I know at some point it got back to him in some type of way. Oh, what? Kellen Moore didn't want me. He doesn't want me. Fine. I don't want to play for the Saints. I don't know if it's. I don't want to give us that much credit, bro. Like that, I feel like it's a little too much. It's a little too much.
But I mean, even if he didn't hear it through us, I mean, if we heard it, that mean, you know what I'm saying? Like he could have heard it through somebody with the Saints or something like that. Who knows?
Somehow,
you know.
So, but I have so many questions. It's like why does Derek Carr not want to play for the Saints? Is it just because he doesn't see the team as going anywhere? And it's part of it's like, well, nigga, you're part of that problem, but
you're part of the problem.
But okay, nigga, if that's not Trump mentality on a discussion, like I don't know.
Oh my God,
I don't know what is. But then you have Mickey Loomis, who is very stout. And I had a conversation with my friend this morning, just talking about, what a trade that would make a lot of sense, not, for both teams, just randomly throwing out NFL trades. Bro, like, what if the Saints call the Steelers and say, hey, y'all, I see, y'all not having a lot of traction with that Aaron Rodgers guy. Y'all need a quarterback, or y'all might be going to turn into Mason Rudolph. Like, how about we take our headache and Derek Carr off? Y'all have Derek Carr. Y'all have George Pickens. He's a headache. Y'all know he's not in y'all's long-term future. How about we just trade? My friend said the Saints would not be initiating any calls for Derek Carr. So meaning that if he's going to get traded or moved at some point, that means a team would have to call them to inquire about Derek Carr. That's where Mickey Loomis is. Like, that tells me, I guess my question is to you, man, well, I still, my biggest question still is like, how much, what is Kellen Moore doing? I guess we'll find out on game day, bro. But like, how much?
Because it seems like he just rubber stamping everything. Ooh, Jawan? Yes. Chase Young? Ooh, yes.
Yep.
Oh, you want to bring back Will Clapp? Ooh, yes, I like him. I work with him. Yep. And it's not that some of those moves aren't good. It's just like, who are you, Kellen Moore? Like, who are you? What will be your thumbprint on this team? Are you a CEO, or are you just like, an assistant manager? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you middle management, or are you an executive? That's what I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying he isn't right now, but I mean, just read the tea leaves. It's like, bro, like, step it up. And we gonna see, like, the draft gonna tell us a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know what the Ireland draft look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's gonna be interesting, bro. It's gonna be interesting, man. But that's one of the, I guess, the main kind of disappointments so far. And it was already kind of wondered about Kellen Moore. That was the kind of question going there, like, is he like that guy? You know what I'm saying? Is he that leader? And the Saints really needed a leader. They needed an Aaron Glenn. They needed a Mike Vrabel to come in and shake this thing up. And look, Tony Pauline reported.
I was at that.
Let me put out that he was like, Mickey Loomis wants a guy he could kind of control. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it just worked out to, like, the only people available were Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy. Where is Mike McCarthy right now? Mike McCarthy
chilling.
on the
But I had
island
also
somewhere.
heard that, like as a head coach, Mike McCarthy is very much the type of head coach that it's kind of why Jerry really liked him having him as head coach, is he's kind of controllable as well. So
Right.
you kind of look at that and it's like, okay, it kind of makes sense why there were factions within the Saints organization, like in the front office, that was on board with the Mike McCarthy potentially being a head coach. Shout out to Michael Morgan with the $1.99 super chat. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Mike.
So I think something that's going to be very telling, like you said, the draft is going to be super telling. Another thing that's going to be telling, even before the draft, because the Saints have a new head coach in Kellen Moore. We haven't had this in a very long time. I guess the DA thing, but I guess that counted. But because they hired a new head coach, they get to start their offseason program incredibly early, right? So I believe it starts the first week of April. One of the biggest storylines I'd be looking for is Derek Carr going to show up?
Huge question, because that will say a lot. That will say a lot, and it'd be interesting if that information comes out. And if it comes out, how will it be delivered? Derek Carr's taking some personal time, or it's
Okay,
it's going to be massaged. It's not going to be just thrown out. It's going to be massaged a little bit.
Okay, personal time from what?
It's going to be something, bro. It's going to be something. Look, Derek Carr's 11-year vet, 12-year vet. He doesn't need to be here this early.
He doesn't need to
He's
be here
rehabbing
in a brand new offense that he's never played in before. Oh, When we know his brain melts with any new offense that this motherfucker. The offense he learned with Clint Kubiak had his brain hurting, but he don't.
Brain was twerking, boys.
Demon Tom Slime said his house had a setback.
But he's still trying to move and everything. Fresno.
Again, we trying to keep this truncated wolf. This whole episode could go on forever, but kind of along the same piece with the Derek Carr thing. Captain Terrell of ESPN reported today that as of right now, with all their restructures and moving and shaking, Saints have like $26 million in cap space right now. The New Orleans Saints have $26 million in cap space.
Balling.
That is not even including they're still trying to figure out what's happening with Taysom Hill, right? Like they want him to take a pay cut. And we know that Kellen Moore wants Taysom Hill to be on the team. I reported that. That might be like the first alpha boss thing we see Kellen Moore do. He might tell Mickey, you can't cut Taysom. He needs to be on the team. Like whatever the number is, figure it out. Right? So let $26 million and then Taysom Hill takes a pay cut. I'm gonna say maybe that number becomes like $31 million after the pay cut. Right? That's a guess. That's not any inside information. So then you start speculating. What are the New Orleans Saints, trying to build cap space for? Are they trying to do it to just carry it over for next season? So then they're not in the negative so much and trying to have to move and shuffle and all that. Are they up to something?
I don't know.
Some theories I've heard. One aligning with the Carr thing. Maybe they're accumulating this cap space with if he is traded post June 1st. And I would think if the plan is to trade him, that would have to encompass them adding a quarterback in the draft, probably pretty early. When I say early, I mean like the first 3 rounds that they are very, very, very excited about. and then he's traded post June 1st. And if that happens, then they're just absorbing that dead money, what's that? I think it's like a $20 million cap hit or whatever dead money.
19. I want to think about 19.
Yeah. So
and then there's the
absorb
the next
it.
part next year. Yeah.
And then if they have $30 million in cap space, they can take that hit and still have like what, 10 million left over without it being such a right? That's one theory. Or another theory, maybe they were, opening it up if they want to potentially add a player like Dallas Goedert from the Eagles, make a trade for him. Maybe, don't know. Maybe they're just trying to carry it over for next year. I've heard multiple things in terms of why they could be opening it up. Whatever it is, it's a fascinating thing. One thing the team feels desperate, and I hope they're not trying to do, and I have no inside information about, but I can see it. I just know how this team operates when they get desperate. If they were to do a trade and went and got child abuser 10 from Miami, bruh, and got Tyreek Hill, bruh.
Oh, no.
I would still, we have a business. I would still continue to do this podcast with you and whatever. My days of rooting for the Saints as a fan, I'd be done, bruh. I'd be done,
man. And that would just be bad football because he is past his prime. Bad contract. Flaky, you're muted. Flaky, like, just a flaky player. Like, any moment, any adversity, any grumblings he has about his pay, about his playing time, or whatever, he quick to just hang it up. Like, that would just be the dumbest thing. So, I know you're not hearing anything, so hopefully it stays like that. Hopefully it's just
he's a distressed asset.
Yeah.
Here's something I would ask you though, and I feel like I wouldn't do it because I felt like the contract he got from the Dolphins was a little of an overpay, and I really liked him coming out of college. But would you, if the Dolphins called you, offering you Jalen Waddle?
Oh, like me some Waddle, bro.
I do too. He's kind of had it. He's been obviously more explosive, and obviously I think kind of a better player as a pro than Olave. But he's also been kind of had that same. He's been injured a lot as a pro, very much similar to Olave. He's paid. His contract, I think I don't know what his average per year is, but I don't even know. This is all we're messing around, right? But this is just fun because we like talking football. But if you had to pick between, if he was available, and I don't think he is, but if he was, this would be really bad team building if you're the Dolphins, by the way, of like trading Waddle and keeping child abuser 10.
Oh my goodness.
But if you could pick as a team, if you're the Saints, between George Pickens and Jalen Waddle with that cap space, and I don't know trade wise what you would have to give up to get either. Which one are you taking?
Between Waddle and Pickens?
Mm-hmm.
Pickens, that's tough because Pickens ain't making nothing right now. But you would have to decide on his fifth-year option.
No, he's not. He was drafted in the second round, so he has 2 years left.
Oh yeah, no, 1 year because he's the Olave draft, right? So this is his fourth year. So this would be his final year. Oh no, yeah, this would be his final year, I believe. So you get him for 1 year on a cheap.
Wait, no, this can't be Pickens' final year. Is it his final, or has he got 2 years left?
I don't know. Somebody in the chat look that up. Either way, okay, 1 year or 2 years. You get him on a cheap for a year or two. That's enticing. But you also get the baggage of it's George Pickens.
Yes. Yes.
Waddle, you don't have any of that baggage, but
oh shit! You're right. It's 1 year because he was 2022.
Right.
So it's 1 year.
Waddle's average salary.
It got to be like, I want to say like 26 a year, bro. I feel like it's like 26.
His cash earning this year is $16 million. 28 average a year.
Yeah, 28. I was close.
And 2025, most of his shit has been paid though already, so it wouldn't be too bad. I mean, I guess if you had to put a gun to my head, I'd probably gamble with Waddle. I mean, with Pickens, just because it's a gamble, but it's like you don't lose as much. Whereas with Waddle, although I feel like you're getting a better player overall, um, age, cost, injury,
Yeah,
and once you just add it all together, and then
yeah.
like what he would add to the offense, I feel like we
It's
kind of have
yeah.
that already.
Yep, you're right.
Where
You're right. It's
Pickens is more of like
different dimension.
different dimensions. So I would probably, gun in my head, I would go Pickens, but it's more risky. Like it's more like with the Pickens thing. Like I would want to give up like a 26 conditional, like a fourth that can turn into a third if he's on the roster at the end of the season, or if he plays every game or something like that, like something that would just protect me in case he just goes batshit crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Which is very
something, just
which
some
is
kind
very
of protection.
possible. Which is very possible. Very possible.
He might just like dude crazy, bro. Good player when he's on though. He's like good,
Yes,
like he's a dimension in this offense that it would very much be needed
very
if
much.
he's like locked in. Him with Kellen, bro. Kellen, sit
That's
your
my
ass
worry.
down, Kellen. I mean, talk about Mike Tomlin. Go from Mike Tomlin to Kellen Moore.
And Kellen didn't really have to like. Kellen wasn't dealing with AJ Brown. Like that was Nick Sirianni.
Right.
So, we got about 8 minutes left.
We good.
How do you see this Carr thing playing out, man?
It's like I try to separate my hopes and dreams
Yeah, for sure.
from reality. Reality is Loomis is running the show,
Mm-hmm.
and Loomis wants a competitive team for 2025.
Hashtag running back 2024.
What we've seen so far, all the evidence, everything.
That Steve Weiss clip yesterday when that man said they feel like getting Gottschall was the key to their defense. I love Steve Weiss. Love him.
I love Steve, bro.
Like,
Got to get him on the pod one day.
Like Kevin said, I need to see the Zelle transactions before that fucking media hit ran. If you telling me that fucking Gottschall nose tackle that they traded for and then reworked his contract for whatever fucking reason.
And what my boy Greg said, had the cleanest contract on the team, just $4 million. You could get out of it next year, gone. Hear what the Saints do. Add like 3 void years to it, turn salary into bonus. What are y'all doing? What are we doing?
I said they got the whole team on a firm, nigga. A firm, Afterpay, PayPal, and Ford.
What the fuck is y'all doing, man? Like what? Like explain it to me. I want somebody to just break it down for me. But look, Mickey Loomis said in his presser after the season, what he said, injuries. That was the reason. Injuries. That's all he talked about. He's like, yeah, coach, blah, blah, blah. Injuries, though. Injuries. And everything we've seen since has played out like that. He's running back, brought back Lucas Patrick, Juwan Johnson, Isaac Yiadom, came back.
Landon Young, I think you meant.
Landon Young, I'm sorry, yeah. Was it Landon?
Yeah, Landon
Young.
Lucas Patrick. Lucas Patrick was visiting the Seahawks.
Went to the Seahawks.
Or was visiting. I don't know if he signed, but he was visiting.
Landon Young. Who else we brought back? Brought somebody back.
I mean, the bigger question is who have they brought back? Who have they brought in that's actually like new?
Justin Reed
and Gottschall, bro.
Right, and I'm excited about Reed. Like,
for sure,
I'm really excited about him. You know, that was a good pickup. And I'm not even really knocking bringing some of the players. Like no. I'm not a fan of Juwan's contract, but I don't hate bringing him back. Contingent with adding more tight ends. Obviously.
Thank you.
But I don't mind bringing him back. I don't even hate bringing Chase Young back with the way the defensive line was just in tatters. You know what I'm saying? Again, we could fuss about the money and all that stuff. That's different. But just from the player perspective, I don't mind those moves. But yeah, man, like everything he's shown is that he truly believes what he said, that the 2024 Saints was a good team. Like those two first games and part of the Eagles game was not a mirage. That was a good team that probably could have won the division if they would have stayed healthy. And if the quarterback didn't get hurt, they would have been in the playoffs. That's literally what Loomis feels deep down in his heart. Or at least that's what he's portraying to believe. That's how they operate.
He 100% believes it, bro.
He believes it. And the moves, every move so far lays that out.
Yep.
Every move. And he's getting no pushback from the head coach.
But that's what I was just about to say, bro. Like, if you're Kellen Moore as a head coach, everyone talked about how much of a football psycho he was. Just a football psycho, watch film, up to, 2, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., trying to get the coaching advantage against the defense. You mean to tell me that he didn't watch film of the Saints prior to taking the job? I know he did.
He did. And he's rolling with the Loomis excuse. Like I was watching, they had like all the coaches at their little like media scrum party or whatever. And all of them were like, yeah, like the first two games, they look good. And, then they got injured, a lot of banged up. And they did get injured. It's not that, like, they had the most offensive line, different combinations on the offensive line than anybody in the league.
But you know who else, who had the most, like, starters, like, on IR last season? The Detroit Lions.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, I understand, like, the injuries are a real thing, but it's not like that's part of the evaluation is what I'm saying.
It is, but it is.
Injuries are a part of the evaluation. Are they going to be healthy this year?
But this also, again, this is why also the Saints who have the best access to media don't really have the best access to media, because then my question would be to Mickey Loomis is whose responsibility is it to build the depth behind the starters when players get in. Sure.
Hello. Why don't you have a backup center? Kendrick Miller, your backup running back who can't get on the field.
Who drafted him? Was that Mickey?
You need pass rush and Isaiah Foskey.
Oh, he just on special team.
Who's clean 55 jersey standing over there? Like who? Why is he in the building? Who decided to draft him?
Me and Dante was talking about today. He said it. He said, bro, if you really think about it, he said that 2023 draft class might be one of the worst Saints draft classes of all time, bro. If you really think about it.
Hard to argue, especially like if Brissett don't elevate from here. Like if this is Brissett, like if this version of Brissett is what you get, ooh, that's a bad class, boy.
It's an all-timer, bro. It's worse than 2020. It's worse than 2018.
Ooh, that's some bad classes too, boy.
Bro,
2020.
Zach Bond was a defensive player of the year candidate, sir. 2018, you could argue.
Not for Saints.
I'm talking about just a player, player draft.
I know.
2018, as much as I can't stand him, the first 2 years, Marcus Davenport
gave us a little something.
Gave us something. Boston Scott went to Philadelphia, was a productive player. Even fucking Traquan for about 2.5 seasons.
Hey, like 11, 12 TDs or something, you know what I'm saying?
What can you say about the 2023 draft class except for Brian Brissett?
Brian Brissett got some sacks, but is not consistent.
You can say Brian Brissett got that block field goal that pass.
Got that block. God damn it, we could have been picking 8. I don't know, like
probably at least 7th.
Then you get Foskey. We've talked about him ad nauseum. Kendrick Miller,
Jake Hayner,
Jake Hayner,
A.T. Perry.
A.T. Perry is on the Broncos.
An all-timer in terms of...
That's why I don't want to hear shit about the cap. Don't tell me nothing about how the Saints manage the cap, man.
Please don't.
Tell me nothing about that.
Please don't.
Tell me nothing about that, bro.
Andrew Brandt, you work for the Packers for so long. The Packers do so well because they draft great and develop talent. Instead of you talking about how the Saints manage their cap, just talk about how they don't draft, how they haven't drafted well. Just focus on that. Like,
but they say, well, the draft is a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot, but you get paid. Like, you get paid. These guys get paid a lot of money to do a job, and you're doing bad at your job.
Then how do you still have a job?
Thank you. So it's just a crapshoot. Like, what? Work it out here and work, man. Do smart, make smart moves. I was listening to something that was talking about the Eagles, how they brought in like a company to do a study to quantify like how off the field issues impact draft value and stuff like that. Just doing all kind of technical studies.
They was like, they must have fell asleep when Jalen Carter, when it came to Jalen Carter.
I mean, it was just like, it was one of the things like, well, how do we weigh off the field things? Like, how much do we weigh it? You know what I'm saying? But they just looking into stuff. You know what I'm saying? They just working, bro.
I appreciate that, though. It's something I appreciate because when you're a human picking another human to do a job, you want to, as much as you can, get as much information about this player.
Exactly.
So you're not the Tennessee Titans drafting a player, top 15 to play offensive line, and a season later, this man said, "Nigga, y'all picked me. I don't even love football.
I don't like football, man. Shit.
Bye.
Give me my bonus.
Bye. I'm going to be a rapper." So one thing I've been wanting to kind of address on this podcast, it kind of going back to where we started. So let's lay it out, right? Talked about free agency. So Mickey Loomis wants to save his job. And like you said, injuries, blah, blah. He feels like health. This man is betting on health. Like, that's a weird thing to bet on, bruh.
In football, NFL football.
Like, does he not understand? And I want to be very clear. Please look at my eyes when I say this. I'm not wishing this at all. I'm not hoping this happens. But does he not realize that, like, Derek Carr could like take a drop back in training camp and like pop an Achilles or tear an ACL in week 1? Like, if you're like what?
And he's in his mid-30s and he's been injured like 4 seasons in a row.
Anyway,
Eric McCoy injured all the time. Chris Olave, we talked about him. Like, this is football. There will be injuries.
Rashid has not finished a season healthy. Kendre Miller been drafted in 2 seasons, have not been healthy.
A walking injury.
But
somehow Foskey gets hurt every year. Why are you on the injury report, nigga? Like,
picking his girl up too straight. Oh, just picked her up too hard. Oh, just picked top. Oh shit, my shoulder. Shit, goddamn. LP. He was LP. Shoulder. So this is what it was. The Saints were weighing cutting Carr and not being able to spend in free agency. So, and I don't know. I think they could have still done some things around the edges. Like, I think they could have still traded for Gottschall. I think they could have probably brought back Yadam, Will Clapp.
Mm-hmm.
But they would have missed out on Justin Reed. They probably wouldn't have they probably would have been able to bring back Chase Young because his base salary for this season is not that expensive. But
and his cap hit was going to be actually higher.
Yeah.
So him and Jawine actually could have been brought back even without the Carr restructure.
So is that all that they did in free agency? And let's say they are able. Let's throw this in there, right? Let's say, for the sake of this experiment, they heavily went after Cooper Kupp. They were willing to meet the range of what he was wanting to get paid, but they weren't willing to match the years that Seattle paid him. So let's say add a Cooper Kupp, add a Dallas Goedert, or add a Keenan Allen, just as examples, onto the free agency they've already had. In totality, that's the Saints free agency versus just cutting Carr, making him a post-June 1st cut, and then maybe being able to keep Chase Young or bring back Chase Young, bring back Juwan, and just do just around the edges moves without adding Justin Reed, without adding a receiver. Which route as a fan would you have rather have gone?
I mean, I would rather go that with me. I mean, shit. It's easy for me. But there are a lot of fans that disagree. There were a lot of fans that'll be like, well, look, that's like tanking the season because you go into a season with either a rookie or Spencer Rattler. And that's like tanking, pretty much. And, I mean, I just disagree. I disagree that that's tanking. I disagree that I think that's forward thinking, man. You would be locked into at least going to draft a quarterback either high or at some point.
Yeah.
So what? Teams do it every year. It's like, oh yeah, he might not be good. So okay.
Why are people
teams miss on quarterbacks every year, bro?
Why are fans so scared of drafting fucking quarterbacks, bro? Like, what is this? Which is what. And this is the funny shit that makes me hilarious. The same fans that are like have this aversion to drafting quarterbacks are the same people that will be on like fantasy sites or daily betting will just betting a shit ton of money on it's all a gamble.
All of it.
So you willing to bet your own money, and it's a statistical gamble. You take in the information that you have. Oh, this player is going to go over his points. This player is going to have this many assists. This player is going to have X number of yards. You're taking a gamble the same way a team would take a gamble with all the information that they have, and either that player is going to turn out to be right, or turn out to not hit, or not hit. But that player hits, and that player hits, and that player's a quarterback, guess what? That's a lot of money in your pocket on a rookie deal.
Yeah.
But I've noticed it immensely these last, like, since Rattler got drafted, and and even this year, people have this like they are allergic to wanting to draft. And it feels like it's very Saints related. Like, I don't feel like it's that way with other teams. It's weird, man.
Yeah, man, it's weird. Because look, they haven't drafted a quarterback in the first round since Archie Manning, man. Like, they don't even know what it feels like. And they got lucky with Drew Brees in free agency. You know what I'm saying? Like,
spoiled, bro.
So it's like
spoiled.
Got spoiled, man. Like, you gotta understand that would never happen again. That'll never happen again. You would never get a Hall of Fame quarterback in free agency. It won't happen.
One more thing. Oh, I was gonna ask you. Go come back to me. Hold on. Oh, I want to hear the Jalen Milroe point. Went in on this point. So he unofficially ran a 4.37 today at Alabama's program. I understand why he didn't run it at the combine. I understand it. Man, I wish he would have. I wish he would have
too, bro. I would have built that train, that hype train, boy.
Choo. Bro, it would have been building. But as much as I have my beef with him and he's been blocked for years plus, I understand the Josh Norris thing. Just you don't count it twice. You put on any Jalen Milroe film, and that 4.3, that I don't know what the official number actually came out to be, but that 4.37, like, it is clear he's a 4.37 runner, clear as day. Finding that, so having this conversation with one of my good, excellent friend. I do this person a disservice by just calling them a friend at this point. Very interesting to find out that the Saints, prior to the crater that Jalen Milroe had second half of Alabama season, were very high on Jalen Milroe, to the point where it sounded like if he had continued, that trajectory, and who knows, if he had continued along that trajectory, he may not have even been there at 9, bro. But let's say had he, maybe let's say he didn't crater as much, but like it was maybe a little more uneven. Had he been there at 9, the team loved them some Jalen Milroe, to the point where they were maybe thinking about drafting him at like 9. and then like he cratered second half season of Alabama. I get the sense, just talking to my friend, that the team still really likes Jalen Milroe as a prospect. I wouldn't be surprised during the draft that they draft him. I think the thing where it was going to turn out to be and find out is that where does that marriage in terms of player and round meet up?
Yeah.
Because that's the fascinating part.
Very fascinating. That's for the whole league.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of talk about the Steelers and Jalen Milroe. You know, is that a 21 where they're picking the first round? Is that more of a second round thing?
I would hate for him to be drafted at 21. I would hate it. Not so much. I feel like money wise, like I would hate him to go in the first round, but long term wise, him going 21. Long term wise, I don't think that's the right thing for him.
Right. You want him to get the Jalen. What's his name?
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is gone. Like,
you okay? You
want to get the Jalen Hurts treatment. You know what I'm saying? Like he needs to, build him up a little bit, and maybe he could be that. I don't know. The talent is dripping though, bro. Talent is dripping. So, I would love to. We don't know what.
I don't know
Kellen Moore's quarterback look like either.
And his range,
what's his type?
And his range is fast. I couldn't even tell you.
Don't know, bro. Don't know.
The conversation I told Dante this is what I would do. I told him I would, if I were the Saints, I would just bite the bullet as a fan and as a person on the team. I would just keep fucking Carr for 1 year. I would go either Tet or Warren at 9. Now, I mean, if I'm them running the team, like kind of with their kind of purview, right? Just not like if I was complete autonomy, just kind of how they kind of like are operating, kind of knowing how they're thinking. I would go Tet or Warren at 9. I would go Milroe at 40. And then third round, I would go best available tight end, and I would draft the UCLA linebacker if he's there at the bottom of the third round, and then probably try to go defense, offensive line, whatever, rest of the draft. Let Carr play out all the season. He's not going to play out all the season because at some point he's going to get hurt. And then that next, whatever that next season or next offseason, it's Rattler going into year 3. It's Milroe. It's that scene in The Dark Knight. One opening. Y'all have at it.
But you know what that sounds like? A vision.
Oh, what?
Can't have that.
What?
And that's what gets me with Mickey Loomis. Like, Mickey Loomis as the GM, as the top executive with the team, you're supposed to be the one with the long-term vision. You're supposed to be the one with the long-term time horizon. Whereas the coaches obviously are year to year. They're thinking year to year, how do I win this year? That's what they're supposed to think. What's I can do to win this year? And that's the moves but there's supposed to be balance by the GM who has the long-term vision, the long-term health, and the long-term outlook of the team. But it's like Mickey thinking like the coaches. Like Mickey just like all about this year. Don't even worry about the future.
And I think, I think that pressure on him is more year to year because it's becoming just job security to him at this point. He can't think about the next 2 to 3 years because he's just trying to.
He's 70 years old, bro.
He's just trying to survive.
You act like you might have got new kids on the way or something, man. About to be 70 years old, bro. Like, got your 200 plus wins. Like, bro, just chill, man. Muted.
Even with Milroe, man,
muted again. Oh,
God, if he don't
there we go.
If he don't work out at quarterback at 40, shit, he the second best running back. Other than Kendrick, then I'm just
you could still. That's the thing about Milroe is like you could still use him. You know, like even if you just can't get the best quarterback out of him, you can still get value from him. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like your normal, pocket passer, I mean, if they're not good, they're wasting a spot on the team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, I agree, bro. I'd be down with that. Like Milroe at 40, I'd be down. Like people. He's so divisive for a lot of people, especially like SEC college fans or whatever. But
I get the divisiveness because that second half of Bama was.
I get it, bro.
Bad, but he has that one thing, that one trait that no quarterback in this entire draft class has. He has that. It's elite. He has you can't teach what he has because once you see it, he has that open field, bruh. He enters the league as a top 3, top 4 fastest quarterback, as a rookie.
Oh yeah, no question.
So just something to think about, bro. Anyhow, we just wanted to get this one out here. I just wanted to just have a more nuanced conversation regarding the whole Derek Carr thing. Someone, Jay Sean had asked. You had a question earlier, Jay Sean. I didn't see what I wanted to respond to it. I don't know if I can find it. This is terrible. If you're listening to just the audio version of this. Oh, yeah, you asked shit. Why not go get Jalen Ramsey? That's he has a awful, terrible contract, and he is old. It would just be a bad move. That's another distressed asset. That extension that the Dolphins gave him was very, I'll tell you, around the league it was thought to be a very head scratching contract extension when the Dolphins gave him that.
Me
contract.
too. Dolphins be tripping, bro.
Kind of another team they don't get the heat as much because they've been more successful. But another team, when you think about their long term vision of the future, you can I couldn't tell you what it is for Miami. No idea. Anyway.
No idea, bro.
So we will be covering. So tomorrow, I'll be honest with you. Me and Dante left halfway through. It was some of it was a setup because they did, the workouts were done on the completely other side of the field, and it felt and they did that. We were talking to some people who were there last year, and it feels like they did that as a power trip, and it was. But we'll be there. We got a good interview with Caleb Rogers, Texas Tech offensive lineman. I'm going to post that to YouTube, and just going to post it online in general. It's not going to be It's not going to be Patreon only. It's just, kind of just catching up with him because we talked to him at the Senior Bowl. So great little interview. I was able to do with Caleb Rogers. I'm going to get that up after we get this episode up and everything. But tomorrow there's juice. Tomorrow there's going to be juice tomorrow. I'm going to try to talk to your dude Savion Williams, who's working out tomorrow. But there was no the defensive linemen and linebackers that me and Dante went and we just not we dipped out, had lunch. I made an impulse buy at the Louis store that I'm probably about to return because I don't think I got some sunglasses, but I don't think that I can get my prescription lenses put in them, which would be and I can't. There's no point in you having sunglasses when I can't fucking see if I don't have my prescription lenses in them. So probably about to return them bitches. But when I put them on though, I was like, oh my God, I'm about to walk out this bitch and just stun on these niggas. But I was like, but we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We are doing a little mini SVP meetup in the Dallas area. If you are a Patreon, if you're interested to do that, the details should be on our Patreon page. We're meeting up at around 8:39 p.m. Only if you're a Patreon. So the details are on the Patreon page. Or if you're a YouTube member, you'll be able to go as well. I'm about to work on getting all this content up on YouTube, on Patreon, take a nap before the mini meetup. But we just wanted to have just a really nuanced conversation about the Derek Carr trade discussion thing. But we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We'll be back. I don't even know when we'll be back, but we'll be back when we'll be back. Maybe Saturday. I have an idea. This actually came from Brock. It'll be prospect of the week, but I think we're actually going to do prospects of the week. Not talking about a single prospect, but just later round prospects, round 2, round 3, just guys we like.
That's fun.
Let's just do that. We're not gonna watch not one guy, multiple guys that we would like for the Saints to anyway. So that'll be our episode for Patreons for Saturday, or maybe we'll do it Sunday, whichever would be easier. But we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We'll be back this weekend. If not, but this weekend for sure. With that, we are out.
Peace.